I hereby designate the period from Thursday, December 18th, 2025 through Monday, January 5th, 2026, the district work period under Clause 13 of Rule 1. Signed sincerely, Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
A few moments later.
And so I expect that we're going to release more documents over the next couple of weeks.
We are expecting to see these documents really any moment. Do you see DOJ being in violation of this law for not releasing everything today?
I mean, they are absolutely in violation of the law. They just admitted they were in violation of the law.
So did anyone think that Mike Johnson sent the House home early because he was just in the Christmas spirit? We all know the real reason why, right? Today should have been the point in which we reached a transparency milestone regarding the Epstein files. That moment being the Justice Department being forced to release the hundreds of thousands of documents in full that have yet to see the light of day. But instead of staying in Washington to answer to this, Mike Johnson yesterday sent the House home. And what do you know? Today, it has been announced by the Justice Department that they're going to trickle out some of the documents. Yet another delay that has not only infuriated Democrats.
Now, the law, as Lisa said, clearly required all unclassified information being released today. They obviously have not complied with that law. They claim that this is because it was only a few weeks. Well, they've known about this for months. They should have been preparing that. So at the very least, what we need is for the Attorney General or the Deputy Attorney General to have a press conference and say, here is what we have released. Here is the timeline of what we're going to release by when to be in full compliance of the law. Here is what we've redacted. And here is why we've redacted this, which is required by the law. And so we'll see what they do.
But countless Republicans who are now asking, as many should, what are in these files that Republicans are so desperately trying to stop getting out? None more so than now staunch Trump critic Marjorie Taylor Greene. So the Justice Department, as I mentioned, announced it will not meet the legal deadline to release all the files, saying it needs more time to redact material to protect victim privacy. Shortly after Johnson's early adjournment, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche told reporters that the Justice Department will not release all the files on Friday, that they'll instead release several 100,000 documents now, with more trickling out over the coming weeks. Blanche justified this delay, saying that the DOJ needed more time, right? Because they haven't had ample time. And why aren't they just pulling all those federal agents that were pulled from their everyday tasks to try and find Donald Trump's name in the files in the past when they had that round of disclosure?
And I think that is a very big statement. And what happened here is the biggest statement of all, because nobody thought a thing like this was possible. And I think based on that, I won't even take questions today, because there's no way I can take questions that are anywhere comparable to what you just witnessed. You just witnessed drug prices that will go down at levels never thought even possible, Marty, right?
And this is why lawmakers from both political sides are up in arms, and rightly so.
And Congressman Suhas Subramanian, a Democrat from Virginia who sits on the House Oversight Committee. We are expecting to see these documents really any moment. Do you see DOJ being in violation of this law for not releasing everything today?
I mean, they are absolutely in violation of the law. They just admitted they were in violation of the law. The law says they needed to release everything by today, not starting today, not part of it today, all of it by today. And let's be clear, there's no excuse for this. I mean, they've been redacting files since back in March when they claimed they were going to release the Epstein files. And then again, 4 months ago, we issued a subpoena from the Oversight Committee in Congress, asking them to release the files. They're in violation of that. And they released a tranche of documents back then and then stopped releasing documents. So there's no excuse for this. They're in violation of the law, and we will pursue every possible legal avenue.
I just got off the phone with one of the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, and they're not really expecting a lot tomorrow. As happy as they were to finally, have this law passed, they want accountability. Like, that's not enough. And I think they worry that some of the lawmakers, they feel like they did enough. Like, our hands are clean. It's up to the DOJ now, but whatever happens, happens. They want follow through. And so they're worried that they're not going to get much tomorrow.
So for the official recap, we have Congress passing a transparency law, right? Then Trump signed it. It was bipartisan. And Mike Johnson suddenly becomes Kris Kringle and sends lawmakers home early because 4 Republicans had parted with him on the healthcare subsidies and were siding with Democrats, and a vote could have been brought to the floor.
I mentioned yesterday, House Democrats have secured the votes necessary to pass a bill that would extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years, a clean extension, enough time for any major overhaul or reforms, but also offering the safety that Americans need, the security of knowing that their health care will remain affordable. We have 4 Republicans who are willing to vote with us to pass the bill. So we've got the votes. The problem is that Speaker Mike Johnson wants to adjourn the House today and send everybody home. He does not want to act on the bill. He knows we have the votes, and he doesn't seem to care that the American people are suffering and are demanding a vote from us today. We just gathered on the steps of the Capitol to tell Mike Johnson, bring the bill up for a vote today. Do not send us home until we've protected the American people and can send this bill over to the Senate. We are not going to quit until we help each and every one of you. To the 100,000 El Pasoans who are seeing their Affordable Care Act costs go up, double, even triple, we are fighting for you.
And then all of a sudden the DOJ come out and say that they aren't releasing the full files. The thing is, this isn't all just spectacle, right? It's a genuine test of political trust. And the Republican Party are losing swaths of their base over this very issue. The American people are noticing. Even Trump's own supporters are noticing, and they're calling it to attention.
And this is the first topic that all of us as Americans, not as Democrats, not as liberals, not as Republicans, are actually lining together and saying we all want the Epstein files. And I said, come on, Donald, give us those files.
We are here at the Turning Point USA Summit in Tampa, Florida. It is a big gathering of Trump supporters. And one thing everybody seems to be talking about here this weekend, Jeffrey Epstein.
We need to get to the bottom of Epstein because Epstein is the key that picks the lock.
Let me just ask you, make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
This is Turning Point USA's Student Action Summit. It's an event aimed at mobilizing young conservatives. Ultimately, I mean, how bad do you think it would be for the MAGA movement, for young people's trust in Trump if by the end of his term they don't release everything they know about Epstein?
Well, I think that if they don't release the Epstein files, whatever J.D. Vance says then is irrelevant because it's like everybody's going to take it as like a lie because of what Donald Trump did. But I think J.D. Vance wants these files released as well. And I think that Donald Trump, he promised them, so he needs to do it. No matter who's on them, we need to release the Epstein files.
Because right now the whole debate's about Bongino versus Bondi, but ultimately it's Trump's decision, right? I mean, he has the power.
It's Trump's decision. It's Trump's decision. I think again, and I'm not going to make the decision for the president. It's not my job. It's not my place. But I do think the way that I'm seeing it played out is that Bongino will be here and Pam Bondi will be the fall guy.
You think that's fair?
I don't think anything's fair in politics.
Across social media, cable news and talk radio, including among Trump's own supporters, frustration over the Epstein files has boiled over into outright suspicion, especially when you consider the fact that for years, Trump and Republican officials had promised to drain the swamp, expose the elites, being the most transparent administration in history, allegedly. But if this administration has nothing to hide, then why does everything seem like hiding? Pollsters and analysts are already flagging the Epstein issue as one of the rare controversies that cut across partisan lines, uniting progressives, independents, and MAGA voters in distrust of institutions and anger at perceived stonewalling. It's why you get the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez unifying over something like this. I mean, for an administration that is already struggling with unity and any sense of credibility, I mean, they can't even unify over their hatred of Obamacare anymore.
Have you lost control of the House?
I have not lost control.
Because this is the third time.
There are look, we have the smallest majority in U.S. history.
I mean, we didn't
note it yet, but Mike Johnson completely lost control of his caucus this morning. He had a 4-person rebellion. Maybe it'll be even more once this ACA subsidy vote happens, the 3-year extension. Leader Jeffries completely played him, right? He didn't go for any of the discharge petitions, the Fitzpatrick bill. He said, I'm going to wait it out for my 3-year extension. And then he got Fitzpatrick, Lawler, et cetera, to fold and to come over to his side. And now there's going to be a vote. I don't know what Senator Thune
I'm
is
not sure
gonna do with
anybody
it.
knows anything of what you just
But
talked about. I mean, I do, but I mean, it's like pretty.
Well, here, I'll just make it clear. Leader Johnson is not in control of his caucus.
Okay.
This is just another trust killer. Polls are anything to go by. They are in deep trouble come next year's midterm election.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.